it's Pheasants forward in this week's show. We're out on a shoot in the English Fenland with FITASC champion Sam Green, picking up his shooting tips.
You're competitive, aren't you?
Very competitive, yeah. Very competitive. There's only one place, so...
Plus, we're in Angus in Scotland with BASC chairman Eoghan Cameron, talking about saving hen harriers and banning lead. Yes, banning lead. There's news and there's hunting YouTube. Welcome to Fieldsports Britain.
See, I've got that one.
Many of the top clay shots make an appearance on a shoot day, but they don't always have a gun in their hand.
There you go, mate. Go on, big gap. Excellent. Good shot.
It's a bit like having Tiger Woods as your caddy, and we're lucky in the shooting world to have such access to the best in the business. Today we join FITASC world champion Sam Green.
To your right here. Lovely. Beautiful shot.
He has been invited on a day at the home fen shoot near Peterborough by one of his friends and clients, James. Unsurprisingly, Sam started shooting as a youngster, and he grew up on this type of flatland shooting.
My dad's a gamekeeper, so started very young, shooting pigeons, squirrels, rabbits, just vermin. And then went to a clay shoot on the Sandringham estate. And won my first competition there, and it just progressed from there basically.
A lot of it's technique, but so much is about being competitive and the mental side of it.
Yeah.
Is that something you had as a youngster, or is that something that you think was developed?
I think it's something that developed. I just had a love of sport. I never wanted to be at school. I just wanted to be out in the countryside shooting. So, yeah.
I hear that story a lot.
Yeah, it was just more of a habit, really. I just loved the side of shooting and wanted a gun in my hands all the time, and I did on the farm. And I was just always out with Dad shooting. So, and then it built into the clays.
So it's in the blood.
Yeah, a little. Well, Dad's not that great a shot, and he's pretty much give up shooting now, but so leaves it down to me.
So you're sharing the peg today, or
yeah, we're sharing a peg. James kindly give me the day. He's a syndicate member on this shoot, so we're just sort of sharing, having a go, and James is going to see if he can hit one or two now.
But you coach him anyway?
Yeah, good on the clays, and his brother as well, but James is a complete natural. Philip, a little bit, well, it takes a little bit more getting going, but no, James is a complete natural, ain't you, mate?
We'll see. What he does is keep it very, very simple.
Back one's a better one.
It's where you're going to kill it and where you're going to hold it.
Lovely.
And I know that if I don't do one of those things properly, I'm going to miss over, under, behind or in front, and I can work out straight away from doing that. So it's made it very simple. So in that case, you know, I found it very good.
Having a coach or mentor standing with you is a great idea for a novice shot and for someone who is making the move from clay shooting to game shooting.
This is something you would do, you would sit on a peg with somebody and offer advice?
Yeah, James, like I said, James is a natural, so he doesn't need it. But no, yeah, I would give advice. A lot of it about the footwork, setting up your feet, setting up the shot, watching where the bird's going, reading the bird. Partridge on your left, James. And reading the bird and knowing how fast the bird is going. But yeah, feet is main important.
Knowing a gun?
Knowing a gun, yeah.
Can we just say this is not James's gun?
Sam is a Browning sponsored shooter, but this elegant Browning B15 is not his competition gun.
Yeah, the B15 is a lovely engraving. It's nice and light to carry around all day. So, no, I've really enjoyed using it this year. It's a beautiful piece of wood on it, so I haven't changed it. I'm just going to keep it as it is.
Now tell me about your competition gun. What's the setup for you? What sort of barrels?
So my competition gun is a Browning Ultra XS. It's 32 inch, full and 3/4 choke. The stock's been made to fit me, so it's quite a lot longer than this. But I don't know there's no special setup on it at all. There's standard barrels, the chokes are standard in it. Yeah, so there's nothing actually special about it.
Apart from winning a world championship.
Yeah, apart from winning the world championships with it, yeah. But no, there's nothing special exactly about the gun. It is just a standard Browning Ultra XS.
What's it like winning a world championship?
Yeah, all your dreams come true. You've been working, that's sort of, ever since I can remember shooting, that would be the goal. So to shoot for Norfolk, to go to shoot for England and then Great Britain. Obviously the last goal is to win the world, so winning it this year is, yeah, the dream come true. And obviously Amy won the World Ladies Championship as well. So Browning have had an incredible year. We've had a good year this year. So,
is it difficult to keep motivated?
Not if you love the sport, no. I don't find it is. I have quite a chill time during the winter, just enjoy my game shooting, pigeon shooting and things like that. And then end of February, then I'll go back onto the clays and then shoot clays all through the summer. So, but no, I enjoy it.
You're competitive, aren't you?
Very competitive, yeah. Very competitive. There's only one place, so.
The first big event for most of the top shooting guys is the Essex Masters. Sam will start getting back into the clay shooting swing of things as soon as the game season ends. He'll also be back at his home ground of Eriswell with his new shooting school.
So I've set up Sam Green Shooting School at Eriswell Lodge this year, which is going really well. Most of my customers actually come through Facebook or Instagram and things that we're doing things. I've set up a website, so we've just set it up this year, so we're seeing how it goes and where it progresses, hopefully.
Now obviously a lot of people can shoot really well, but whether they can coach really well, what do you think makes the difference? What do you think you bring to the party?
I don't believe in teaching one method. Not everybody can shoot that one method, so I believe in working around the person, their knowledge, their reactions and their timing. So working around that part, I believe then you can help someone and make them a lot better shot.
And that's children, that's ladies, that's gentlemen?
It's everybody, yeah. So this year we've had a lot of youngsters coming through. We've been doing Colts Days as well. I do a competition a couple of times a year where we run it on Facebook and Instagram, and then the name gets picked out of a hat randomly, and I give a 3 days coaching to under 16s, and so they've been going well. And yeah, and it's the future of our sport. That's where our future lies. So to help those and bring that up, and yeah, if I was when I was a youngster, to have a 3 days coaching with George Digweed would have been amazing. So to do that and give that back to the sport and giving back is one of the best things about it as well.
If you want to know more about the Browning range of game or competition guns, go to browning.eu. And if you are interested in world-class coaching, visit samgreenshootingcoach.co.uk. Thank you, Sam, and thank you, Browning, for sending us off to make that film. So much talent, artistry and performance to enjoy. Next up, a man suffering from delusions of adequacy. It's David on the Fieldsports channel, News Stump.
This is Fieldsports Channel News. The UK's Department for the Environment is heading for a perfect storm at the end of February. DEFRA faces the twin challenges of renewing the general licences or not renewing them, and deciding the future of wild animal products from trophy heads to antler buttons. Farmers fear chaos as animal rights activists threaten to renew their general licence legal challenge. Last year, thousands of farmers complained when Chris Packham's legal challenge meant they couldn't shoot pigeons and crows for weeks. After a painstaking process, the licences were renewed, but expire at the end of Feb. BASC is asking Secretary of State Theresa Villiers for an extension to this year's licences, which are due to expire on the 29th of February. Meanwhile, a government source tells the Daily Mirror that the trophy hunting consultation, which has just been extended for a month until the end of February, is a sham, and DEFRA Minister and friend of Boris Johnson, Zach Goldsmith, will push through a ban, whatever it says. The British Shooting Show is just a few weeks away. The show at the NEC in Birmingham attracts tens of thousands of shooters and other field sports enthusiasts. Show dates are the 14th, 15th and 16th of February 2020, and the show opens from 9 until 4:30 p.m. on all 3 days. Car parking is free at the NEC for all British Shooting Show visitors, and all accompanied children ages 15 and under visit free of charge. There's a link in the description below to the ticketing website. We'll be there with all the usual suspects on stand C12. A woman from Yorkshire has launched a pheasant ready meal range. Sophie Bagley makes visits to shoots all over the county to pick up birds. She plucks more than 100 pheasants a day, which she turns into hundreds of cottage pies and lasagnas every week. A video featuring a top wildlife police officer and an anti-hunting activist has sent tempers soaring. Chief Inspector Hubble, who received an OBE for her work battling wildlife crime, appears alongside Wild Justice's Dr. Ruth Tingay, rapping to a tiny temper track outside the House of Commons. The Countryside Alliance issued a formal complaint saying the video recorded by the duo shows blatant disregard for issues facing rural areas, and that Hubble, as boss of the National Wildlife Crime Unit, should not take sides with conservation campaigners. Mark Avery, a fellow Wild Justice patron, jumped to Tingay and Hubble's defence, saying it was just a joke, and the Countryside Alliance's criticism of the police officer is nasty. SABs are targeting hounds as one of their tactics to disrupt hunts. Gary Thorpe, huntsman of the East Essex Hunt, captured this footage showing antis targeting his hound pack with an unknown substance in spray bottles, and later using horn calls and recordings of hounds to draw the pack towards a main road. The footage has been given to local police. Viewers are urged to sign the petition on your screens now calling for a change to the trespass law. A SAB group on Twitter are launching a harassment campaign against those people who hunt. The Mendip Hunt SAB group say they will post images and names of people who hunt as part of a new series. If you see content online harassing or threatening members of the field sports community, you can report it by calling 101 or using the link on the screen below. African swine fever has jumped a step closer to the German border. An infected wild boar found in Poland's Lausitzer forest shows ASF has moved within 12 kilometres of the border with Saxony and 21 kilometres of the border with Brandenburg. The German Environment Agency says the threat remains a concern. Experts believe a new breeding programme could save the endangered Scottish wildcat from extinction. As one of the world's rarest breeds of cat, they are 70 times more endangered than the giant panda. The Scottish Government and other agencies have spent millions trying to produce genetically pure Scottish wildcats, but announced they have failed. Last year, the International Union for Conservation of Nature said the Scottish wildcat was on the verge of becoming genetically extinct because of persecution and interbreeding. Now, conservationists believe that importing wildcats from other European countries could give the Scottish breed a viable future in the wild. Target pistol shooting is flourishing in the UK. Last week saw the final of the British Shooting Schools Pistol Championships at Stoke Mandeville Stadium. More than 600 shooters from 350 schools across Britain competed in regional qualifiers during the 2019-2020 season. Gold medals went to Amber Pern from Howell School in Llandaff, Lucinda Evans from the Chantry and Lucy Evans from the Forest Academy. Team golds went to Howell School in Llandaff, Ellesmere College and Woking High School. Paralympic pistol shooting star Izzy Bailey was there to watch the event and announce the winners. Izzy was at the Rio Paralympics in 2016 and has won a quota place for 2020 this summer in Tokyo, where she'll be shooting 10-metre and 25-metre sporting pistol.
I think it'll be a really different experience to Rio. Rio was my first game, so it'll obviously have that sort of special memory for me. But Tokyo, competing in more events, I'm taking it more seriously. And from what I've heard from the people that have visited the venue already, it's looking like it's going to be a great place to compete.
Tasmania's new Premier has bowed to pressure to ban bow hunting in Tasmania. Newly elected Peter Gutwin rushed through legislation after images appeared of a wallaby struck by what appears to be an arrow. Bow hunting was already heavily restricted in the country, with only rabbits, hares, wild goats and feral cats allowed to be taken with a bow. Now, anyone that bow hunts in Tasmania will be prosecuted for cruelty to animals. Pro hunters point out that less ethical methods of wildlife management, such as laying of poison and the use of bolt guns, are, however, still legal. Thanks to Rod Byfield for the story. When the Swedish government allowed a Sami village to take control of some local wildlife management, the villagers received death threats from aunties. Following a 30-year battle, the government has said that the village should be allowed to manage and hunt its own small game. The village has the support of Sami artist Sofia Janok, who has organised a campaign online. Thanks to Per Holmseth for sending in the story. How much respect should a chef show a duck? An Italian chef is accusing the head chef of the award-winning restaurant Noma of disrespecting mallards. Pietro Lehmann, owner of Europe's first vegetarian restaurant, pens an open letter to René Redzepi, accusing him of going too far with his mallard meal. The duck dish from the Game and Forest season of Noma features the brain served out of the duck's skull, and its beak used a vessel for the heart tartare. Initiatives across the country are introducing high school students to cooking game meat. Thirst School and Sixth Form College took delivery of these pheasants as part of a cookery and butchery class. Meanwhile, Speyside Moorland Group donated game meat from their shoot to Kinnussie High School in the Cairngorms to help pupils understand how to prepare game that's delivered fresh from the field. A North Yorkshire shoot is raising money for charity. A community in Sherborne has raised just under £1,000 for the Pulmonary Hypertension Association. Following the death of Brian Toes, shooting friends, beaters and a wildlife photographer came together to hold a small farm shoot day to raise cash for the charity. The funds will be presented by Brian's wife, Liz, during a shoot this Friday. Sabs got a soaking after trespassing on private land. In a lengthy video exchange, aunties followed and harassed the mounted hunting party in this video before being asked to return to the public bridle path, which involved a little river crossing. Not sure we'll be seeing the Sab video version of this anytime soon. Cheetahs are to be reintroduced into the wild in India. This is the first time India will have the cats since the species was declared extinct there almost 70 years ago. There are only 7,100 cheetahs left in the wild globally, and the animal is classed as critically endangered by the International Union for Conservation of Nature. Following a Supreme Court ruling, the Indian authorities will now identify suitable habitats for the animal, analysing potential prey and the possibility of human-animal conflict. They will bring the cheetahs from Namibia, a pro-hunting country where cheetahs are doing well. An American found an unusual swimmer in his pool. Officer Flannery from the police department at Lexington, Kentucky, helped the homeowner haul an exhausted deer out of a swimming pool. The officer was called to the rescue of the animal, which wobbled for a second or two before bounding off into the surrounding woods. And finally, people in rural Florida are feasting on iguanas and making some money too. A cold snap has left the reptiles falling catatonic from trees. Locals have been picking up the iguanas, dispatching them and turning them into lizard curries, gumbos and soups. The meat from the invasive species sells for $60 a pound. You are now up to date with Fieldsports Channel News. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts.
Thank you, David. And there's more news on the front page of our website, link in the description below. You'll see reactions there to our story last week about deer in Scotland and its future. Well, if you want to see those reactions, you'll have to go to our website to have a look. Next up, we're off to Scotland to go shooting with BASC chairman Eoghan Cameron. It's a filthy day on the edge of the Angus Glens, and we've been asked to film BASC chairman Eoghan Cameron. Some light winds and drizzle are not going to stop these hardy Scots.
Perfect conditions for a day's pheasant shooting. They breed them tough in Scotland. Just a mild shower.
Oh yeah, this is Scottish shooting for you.
It's a 120-ish bird relaxed day with friends on the Over Ascreevy shoot near Kirriemuir, and gives us an opportunity to find out from Eoghan on the sort of direction he wants BASC to take. One significant move is to ease the industry into leaving behind lead. Eoghan is using steel today. He believes that if we can make the change at the pumps, we can make the change in the field.
We've had articles from our counterparts in Europe and further afield in the US who've been using non-lead ammunition for years, And it's really just about demonstrating to people there's actually nothing to fear in terms of lead ammunition. Sure, we may have to make some changes, but I view it very much in a similar vein to 4-star leaded petrol. Before that was banned, I'm sure a lot of people thought it would be extremely troublesome and it would make their lives a misery, but here we are, we're using unleaded fuel. And the more demand there is, actually, the better that ammunition will get, and the more the price will come down.
James Hopkinson runs the shoot. He is encouraged by Eoghan's shooting that steel could work, but he would like to try before he buys.
Eoghan has been suggesting that we ought to think about having a go with steel. If Eoghan wants to donate some boxes to me for the end of the season, so I can
Hold on a second.
have a go. Yeah.
The other issue, which is seeing a unified stance from every corner of the countryside, is raptor persecution. BASC has got together with Countryside Alliance, the CLA, the NGO and the Moorland Association to offer training courses to stop people persecuting raptors and to name and shame them if they do.
If you know of raptor persecution, if you're doing it, it needs to stop. It needs to stop now. Otherwise, the sport of shooting will suffer, and you will continue to give ammunition to those who want to put a stop to this. And that has very far-reaching consequences, not just for those of us that enjoy shooting, but for those who depend on shooting for their livelihoods.
For more from BASC, visit basc.org.uk. During the day we cover more than an issue per drive, so there's plenty more to come from Eoghan. If you want to hear more, go to the BASC Films channel on YouTube by following the link on the screen, or there's a link in the description below. Thank you, Eoghan, and thank you to BASC for asking us to make that film. Now, from Scotland to the wider world of hunting and shooting, on YouTube it is Hunting YouTube. This is Hunting YouTube, which aims to show the best hunting and shooting videos that YouTube has to offer. Wykes Meat and Game is ferreting a hedgerow. They've been working their way around a farm and in this film get 18 good-sized rabbits. If members of Wild Justice have trouble sleeping, it's because while they're tucked up, people like Colin Humphreys are out ranting about them. CH Fieldsports was going to make a film about the morning duck flight, but ends up lecturing us on Chris Packham, which I rather enjoy, despite the fuzzy audio. Swedish professional hunter Thomas Ekberg and filmmaker Mikael Jagari are releasing for free all the hunting movie content they've made over the last 30 years. You can find them on the dianasteger.se website. This is a film showing Thomas trying out an unusual kind of shooting stick, thanks to Per Homseth for sending through the news. Mark Brannan sends me his last shoot day and a night's foxing all in one film. He is out for a mooch with a catapult and uses thermal to take a couple of foxes that are threatening his shoot. Wayne Martin, we featured him shooting catapults, has put out his latest slingshot film. His company Caddyshack sells catapults. Lucas Mikalev from Malta, another of our regular contributors, is hunting the alpine chamois in Slovenia in this film posted on the channel of his magazine huntmag.eu. Viewer Alexander Leva sends me this with the message, "Got to love this crazy guy." Solo hunter Austin Manelik heads into the mountains of Alaska after goats. And finally, for fans of the good old days, Dutch hunter Tok Portfleet put out a rather lovely film in the autumn. It's a clip from 1968 about his father, Rien Portfleet, up a high seat and explaining it to local TV in Dutch. That's it for this week. I've put all these films into a playlist for you. Click on the I symbol top right or check this film's description. If you have a YouTube film you would like us to pop into the weekly top 8, email me the link, charlie@fieldsportschannel.tv. Well, that's it for this week. If you haven't done so, please pop over to our website, fieldsportschannel.tv, where you can click to like us on Facebook and on Instagram. You can follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube, and of course pop your email address into our register page and we'll send you an email about this show. Field Sports Britain is at 7 PM UK time every Wednesday. This has been Field Sports Britain. Good hunting, good shooting, good fishing, and goodbye.